Autotech here with an update on the EJ205 to 206 conversion in my 2002 WRX. So this is my 2002 Subaru WRX. I just got done replacing the engine EJ205 with an EJ206 from a JDM spec car. See my nice gauges up there. So as you can see, it runs well. It's a cold start. It pulls hard. It's got great power. Still need to do some tuning on it to get it perfect, but it's so much better than it was. So in my last video, I was describing all of the necessary things to make this motor work in this car. One of the things that I failed to cover was the cam sprocket that lives right behind here. You can see the cam sensor is plugged in right there. And I'll put some pictures up of this, but the cam sprockets are actually different. The number of tones that it has on the back of the sprocket wheel are different. So when I cranked my engine up, it was running on 2 cylinders very poorly, and I was not getting in fuel injector pulse, or rather I was getting fuel injector pulse, but it still wasn't firing. And after replacing spark plugs, changing coils, and all that, it still wouldn't run right. So I got to looking at the other fault code that I had present, which was I had a misfire, but I also had a fault code for the camshaft position sensor, and I swapped out the sensor, no change. And so I went back and I looked at my sprockets, counted the pips on the back of it, and sure enough, there are a lot more of them on the EJ205 than on the 206. So I had to take that sprocket back off, put the one from my original motor onto the 206, and then once I did that, it ran perfectly. The freeze plug in the back of the head does not leak at all. It's perfect. And in fact, besides a little bit of an exhaust leak from my really cheap headers, let me see if I can get a picture of that, which I just welded them, the 2 slip joints together. Besides that, it went perfectly, and now it runs great. You can resurrect your old Subaru with an updated, little bit better horsepower motor, and as long as you can tune it properly, it's going to run great for you. Now, I did also on mine add the catless downpipe with the wideband O2 sensor. I got all that stuff nicely wrapped and put into the factory harness, so it's no additional holes through the firewall, and it runs along the main harness all the way up to my gauge set, which I absolutely love. I also did a little creative engineering on these to actually get them canted to the side. I don't know if you can see this, but they are turned towards the driver slightly, which I think really adds to the experience and makes it easier to see. So with my apologies, I want to update the 205 conversion with this last little bit of critical information that will make your swap go perfectly. Thanks again for watching, and I hope this helps someone out there who needs to resurrect their old Subaru. This is Autotech.